every once in a while, you just want to do a story that kind of reinforces reality and is a check to all this all this crazy talk about how we have to be careful or proceed with caution or any of this shit. Let me just give you an example. As medical marijuana was getting legalized, some of the things you hear about it is, oh, we don't know what the dose levels are. Oh, you better take the right marijuana before you go to sleep or you'll have sleep disorders. I mean, that's not even how it works, It ain't like, oh, I need to go to sleep, let's smoke some indica and boom, you're out. I mean, maybe after a long day of fucking doing whatever and smoking whatever, anything's going to be ready to go to bed weed. But the one that one time after another, you'll hear this shit about how, oh, we don't know how much weed should people be allowed to have maximum and all this shit. It's like they're going to be sitting around just smoking weed nonstop 24/7. I should do that sometime just to prove that it ain't no big deal. But they're always cautious about the dangers and the dose levels and all this shit. And you hear about it might trigger some schizophrenia. Nothing could be further from the truth because we all know that that's all bullshit and there's no scientific studies to back any of that up. And people just run with that like it's just some kind of fact that everybody knows. And before you know it, maybe that with that amount of gaslighting we've been subjected to for decades now, a lot of people believe this bullshit, guys. A lot of fucking people believe it. So you got to hit them back with some shit that's real. And this is, the doctor says, Tylenol and aspirin are far more dangerous than medical marijuana. Dr. Christopher Prince said that physicians are at least partly culpable for what he sees as misconceptions about medical marijuana and the opioid abuse epidemic crippling the nation. Dr. Christopher Prince has seen a lot in his 33 years as a licensed medical practitioner in Michigan. One thing he has never seen is a marijuana overdose. In 33 years of practice, I've never seen anyone come in with a pure problem from a marijuana overdose. He said, I've worked in the ER enough. I've seen more people who need liver transplants from Tylenol overdoses. He probably sees more people that are sick from, quite frankly, cannabinoid deficiencies. We don't talk enough about that. Prince of Stevensville used to work as an emergency room doctor at Lakeland in St. Joseph, and he currently has a practice in Sister Lakes and is a traveling emergency doctor for rural communities in the western U.S. He said that, despite public opinion, many over-the-counter medications are far more dangerous as painkillers than medical marijuana. The lethal doses of marijuana are so astronomically high that a human couldn't consume that much in a single sitting, he said. Tylenol and aspirin, in my opinion, are two of the most lethal painkillers out there because you can self-medicate and there's no prescription required. They work well, but you start dealing with the abuse potential. And people don't realize it. But there's a lot of abuse potential with just regular Tylenol or aspirin because you get to the point where you take it all the time, and boy, it's not good for you. All right. Moreover, Prince said that physicians are at least partly culpable for what he sees as misconceptions about medical marijuana and the opioid abuse epidemic crippling the nation. We as physicians found that people that are getting addicted to painkillers have been doing so because of our treatment plans, he said. It isn't because we as physicians don't know what we're doing. It's because of how we've been pushed to treat pain. When you start comparing current pain treatment to marijuana, a lot of these other things are far more addictive. All right, once ingested, cannabis is broken down, and the results is a release of cannabinoids into the body, according to Prince. The human body has an endocannabinoid system which helps regulate memory functions, appetite, energy balance, and metabolism, stress responses, immune functions, female reproduction, the autonomic the autonomic nervous system, analgesia, thermal regulation, and sleep. So pretty much everything that your body needs to do. And if you notice, most of that is the stuff your body needs to do without you thinking about it doing it. Prince explained that the endocannabinoid system comes with two types of receptors, cannabinoid receptor type 1, CB1, and cannabinoid receptor type 2, CB2. Cannabinoid? Who likes that one? Who calls it cannabinoids and cannabidiol and cannabigerol and all these other... It's almost like I was reading it in books and on the internet for so long that I never actually heard anybody say it. So I just assumed that everything is cannabis. Cannabinol, cannabidiol. Why wouldn't it be? Tell me why in the comments section below, I guess. I don't fucking know. So CB1 receptors are primarily in the brain and CB2 receptors in the lymphatic tissue. He said, the active cannabinoids will fit into those receptors and do various things. In an actual activity of endocannabinoids, it works on the presynaptic portions of the nerve. When cannabinoids attach to a receptor, the presynaptic region will release a compound that will attach to the postsynaptic receptor that will give you an effect that you're looking for. It tends to prevent release of the neurotransmitters. Unlike opioids, which block the transmission of pain, cannabis instead decreases the amount of pain transmission, which inhibits its ability to send a pain message to the brain. With a current lack of research, the efficacy of pain inhibition is word of mouth at best, which Prince admits. Medical marijuana has been working well for several of the patients my practice has been seeing. He said, how much of this is marijuana and other medications they are taking is anyone's guess. The method of consumption of cannabis is also important to the effect it will have, according to Prince. By smoking marijuana, another thing, if I may stop you, sir, smoking marijuana is another one of these things that has been attacked time and time again by places where medical marijuana is becoming legalized. If not attacked, just outright banned. Let me see, you have Illinois, Pennsylvania or I don't know if it's still gonna be, Florida, New York, several states where smoking is not even allowed. Now, Florida, you got to be on your deathbed to get smokable marijuana that will actually get you high. But anyway, smoking marijuana has been said everything has been demonized in so many ways. And since I was a little kid, so you know the propaganda about smoking marijuana is that one joint, ooh, that's like smoking 20 cigarettes, son, which is bullshit. And I've seen studies over the years. And every study I've ever seen, time after time after time, has always made one conclusion about marijuana and cigarettes. Is that marijuana on its own, well, they've never had a case of lung cancer yet from marijuana alone, or heart disease. When it comes to cigarettes, that's where a lot of the studies on marijuana come from, too. Is, well, while you're at it, you know, while you're checking boxes off, motherfuckers that check that they smoke cigarettes, sometimes they check smoke weed, too. They're afraid to, you know, admit it. Even when it was highly illegal. Somehow they have all these studies dating all the way back into the 60s where fucking people are smoking cigarettes and marijuana all the time. But you don't get a whole lot of studies where people are just smoking marijuana only. I wonder why. And we don't have any studies talking about chronic smoking. All we have is surveys and correlations and speculations. So the things that I've heard were that. Speculations, correlations, whatever the fuck. Tabulations. And what they always conclude that it's very possible that the effects of marijuana smoking have neutralized or nullified the negative effects of smoking cigarettes for a lot of people that were in these studies. Like, their health outcomes were a lot better than the people that actually just smoked cigarettes. They lived longer. They didn't get cancer. They had good lungs. They didn't get emphysema or bronchitis. So this fucking horse shit about smoking marijuana being bad or not a way to administer medicine, that's what they want to tell you. Big Pharma, they want to tell you that whatever they say is how you administer medicine. And now, way back in the day, they said smoking opium was the way to administer medicine. At one time, snorting was a way to administer medicine. It wasn't even like you would think, well, it was probably still a little bit weird. No, it was mainstream. Snorting aspirin, snorting cocaine, snorting fucking heroin. Between 1890 and 1910, that shit was all the rage. It was what everybody did. You're talking about incest therapeutics. These motherfuckers want to make a marijuana pill, but with the fentanyl, they want you to spray that shit under your tongue, which is a super fast way to administer something, by the way. So there you go. Smoking bad. Really? How is eating pills good again? Because I keep hearing about people with this liver damage and kidney disease and shit, and just stomach linings just gone. Ulcers eating their stomach up from pills. So I don't know what, just because it disappears and you don't have to think about it anymore, I guess. Maybe that's what gave you the shits. I mean, have you ever seen the fucking side effect list on a pill? I'm sure you have. How can you not? They run their ads on TV non-stop, and every time they flip a commercial for a pharmaceutical, they tell you a couple of nice, enchanting things about the good effects of it, and then it's about 20 seconds of solid side effects. Kind of weird, ain't it? Over here, the good Dr. Prince says, by smoking marijuana, the effects take place immediately and may last up to 2 to 4 hours. With edibles, it may take up to 2 hours before it fully absorbed, and it may last 4 to 8 hours. And you should have mentioned there, too, that it's very possible that the edible dose and the way that the body processes the edibles might make you a little tired, too. It does me. So from his experience with marijuana in the medical field, Prince does not believe that it is the gateway drug that it was made out to be. He believes that it's a person's personality and tendency towards addiction that drives them towards harder drug use. So I guess we were talking about pain pills here. What was his pills? Tylenol and aspirin. Seems to me like if you want to go gateway, you start there. And if they didn't use that, then did they use regular pills? What gets you to heroin, though? It ain't weed. I guarantee you that. Now, he says, if you think about it, the majority of people that used harder drugs start out using marijuana. That might be why wouldn't that be true? Well, you got somebody that's obviously looking to get high. Marijuana is, as advertised, gets you high. So that might be a place that they started. Because, first of all, it's not the gateway because of that. It's just the most available one. Now, I would argue, the first thing I did was alcohol. That's probably the very first one. And then even more readily available than marijuana is pills. You see your mom and dad's pill cabinet. Whatever. There's no such thing as a gateway. Someone's either going to be somebody that's going to do drugs because that's what they want to do, or they're not. Because I don't know what reason not to, and I don't know what motivates people to do what they do. But I guarantee you it's not because, first of all, according to your weird story about somebody that gets marijuana for the first time from who, I don't know, like it's not their fault or something. And then that just takes them down this dirt road into hell. So give me a break. All right. He basically says the same thing. And there you have it, guys. And I'm going to go ahead and back this up, this assertion, because I think the hard numbers here are about 7 to 10,000 people a year die from Tylenol and or aspirin. Those are real numbers, guys. Real people dying from fucking over-the-counter pills. I think when you add like cold and flu and, you know, this and that, there's a whole, the shelf is full. If you go look at them shelves where they have Tylenol, it's like a whole aisle of shit. Every one of those bottles has a kill count. No marijuana jar ever. No marijuana jar ever has killed anybody. Unless, you know, somebody got mad and threw their jar at somebody else, cracked him in the skull or something. I don't know. I gotta laugh, man. This shit's just getting too hard to deal with. Like, how the hell are we here, guys? We got shit you can buy over the counter that doesn't even fucking work half the time. And the way it works, you don't even want to know, man. If you ever scare yourself, look at how Tylenol works. Ooh, it's not very pretty. But the side effects of pills are bad. And we know that. There isn't a bad side effect of marijuana that I've found yet. Unless you absolutely don't like to feel euphoric or tired when you need to and awake when you need to. All right, I'm out of here. Thank you, Dr. Christopher Prince, for setting the record straight. And again, smoking marijuana totally is medicine. So don't let anybody kill your buzz. Or Florida, please, let's fix that.